If you notice yourself feeling kind of, or maybe even really dissatisfied with your life, know that you are not alone. Research actually shows that most humans feel at least somewhat dissatisfied with their lives a good amount of the time. And so today I want to talk to you about several things that you may be doing or not doing unconsciously that are making you feel more dissatisfied with your life than you need to. We're going to look at these ones so that we can become aware of them, so that we can start doing different, so that we can start feeling different and ultimately living different. I think you're going to get a lot out of these ones. Some of them you may not even be aware of, you may not have even thought of, and I think they're going to bring you a lot of clarity by the end of this talk. If you're new here, welcome to our incredible little corner on the internet. Take a second, introduce yourself in the comment section below. If you're back again, it's always good to have you. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to the channel. The button's about right down there. Either way, my name is Kristina. I'm a registered clinical therapist, a researcher, a coach, and the creator of my incredible membership community, the Shift Society, that many of you here are in now. We're doing this work deeper in there, and you're being supported and having community and accountability the whole way through. Always good to have my shifters here. And yeah, if you want to find out more about the Shift Society so you can get in there and do this work with us, the information about it is down in the description. I help heart-centered humans break through the crap that is holding them back so that they can like themselves and their lives more every day. And all of these things are preventing you from liking yourself and your life as much as you could. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to go big right out of the gate by talking about the first thing that is stopping you from being as satisfied with your life as you could be is you doing things often out of guilt. How often are you doing things out of this sense of guilt? This fear that if you don't do it, someone is going to have a thought or a feeling that you don't want them to have, and then what you're going to make that mean about you as a person. And that's what guilt is. Now, I'm not talking about healthy guilt where we've actually done something hurtful or harmful and then we have, a sense of remorse about that. We feel like I shouldn't have done that. That was not a great thing. I need to make this right. I need to make an apology. I need to fix this in some way. I need to do something about this, versus like this sense of guilt of if I don't do this, then this person is going to have thoughts about me that I don't want them to have. And I don't know what to do with that. I can't cope with this person maybe thinking that I'm not as generous as they think I should be, that I'm not as loving as they think I should be, that I'm not as considerate as they think I should be. So I'm trying to control someone else's feelings by doing something that I don't really want to do because I don't want to feel guilty. I don't want to deal with my own thoughts about what I think their thoughts might be if I don't. Do you see how that works? And so we do all these things out of guilt and then often feel bitter and angry and resentful, or we feel trapped, or we feel stuck. And none of it feels good. So instead, really getting more clear on your motivations for doing things. Not doing things out of guilt, either not doing something if you don't want to do it, if you're like, this is really not something that I want to do, I don't have the time for it right now, or it's not one of my priorities right now, I really don't enjoy doing this. So either honor your own experience or come up with different reasons for doing it that you like. If you're like, you know what, this isn't my first choice, it's not necessarily something that I want to do, but I want to contribute to the relationship in this way. I want to give to this person in this way because I know that it's important to them. So then I'm not doing it out of guilt because I have changed my thoughts about my motivation for doing it, and I like those reasons. Do you see that? It's subtle, but it is important. If you're going to do something for someone, if you want to do, or someone wants you to do something, or you think you need to do something, changing your thoughts about it so that you're not doing it out of guilt, even if it's not something that you necessarily want to do, it's like the first priority on your list or there's something you're so excited about, but that you have decided that you like your reasons for doing it. But because then you're not doing it out of guilt, you're doing it out of your own genuine desire to contribute, to connect, to cultivate in that way. And then the next thing that is probably contributing to your dissatisfaction is actually not being generous and not contributing very much to your relationships, to your community, to society as a whole. And now we really want to be careful with this one because I just talked to you about not doing things out of guilt, but also doing things out of pure generosity, out of contributing to other people's lives. Again, not out of guilt, being very careful with that one. But research shows, and it's probably is no surprise, that because we are relational beings hardwired for connection, we get joy out of bringing joy to other people's lives. We get a sense of satisfaction out of helping other people and contributing to their lives. It's actually, according to the happiness research, one of the top contributors to our happiness is giving and being generous and contributing towards others or towards some kind of cause that's important to you. Again, not out of guilt, but out of having this sort of sense of wanting to make someone else's life better, making the world better, making your community better. And when we feel like we're making an impact, it makes us feel good. Now, again, we really have to watch here, sort of doing things and getting really stressed out and overwhelmed or feeling obligated or feeling like we have to. Really, again, looking at your motivations and looking at your reasons. But if you find yourself, feeling kind of dissatisfied, feeling kind of disconnected, feeling kind of isolated, really taking a step back and asking yourself, how am I contributing? How am I giving? How am I showing up in the world to make the world a better place, to at least do a little bit, to make a little bit of a difference in somebody else's life or in the world in general? And I'm going to all but guarantee you, if you haven't really been doing anything, then doing something is going to add to your satisfaction in life. It's just the way that we are wired. Making things better for someone else often makes us feel better. It actually always makes us feel better as long as our intentions are pure, as long as our reasons are pure. Again, we're not kind of doing it out of guilt or obligation or because we're trying to get something in return. We just genuinely want to contribute to the well-being of others and to our making, our society a better place for everyone. The next thing that might be keeping you dissatisfied with your life is taking life too seriously and acting as if life is permanent. Because the truth is, and this might come as a shock, it's not. None of us are getting out of life alive. We are here for a short time. And the other truth is that the things that we think are so important and matter so much in this moment rarely matter 5 days, 5 weeks, and often don't matter at all 5 years from now. So really being able to take a step back. Now, this isn't about trying to bypass our emotions and trying to belittle ourselves and being like, it's no big deal, just let it go. It's not important, just get over it, right? It's not about sort of neglecting our own experience, our own thoughts or feelings, but it is really being able to put things into perspective and being able to honor where I'm at, being able to acknowledge how I'm feeling and what I'm going through, and also looking at in the bigger picture and really reminding myself that the feelings I'm feeling right now, what I'm going through right now is important, but it's also just such a small piece of this whole bigger picture of my life. And so I'm going to be with this now. I'm going to acknowledge it now. I'm going to move through and with it now, but I'm also going to remind myself that it is not permanent. Whatever it is that I'm going through is not forever, that I will get through this, because nothing is permanent. Even life is not permanent. And so being able to have some fun, for, fear of sounding like a placating kind of trite saying, but really just letting ourselves lighten up a little bit. Yes, taking things seriously that need to be taken seriously. Yes, honoring our own experience as human beings, but also just being able to observe it with compassion and curiosity, and sort of this unattachment from ourselves, and being able to be like, oh my gosh, this is my human experience in this moment. Isn't this interesting that this is what I'm feeling, that this is what I'm going through, that this is this whole thing as part of this bigger picture? Being that compassionate and curious observer of our experience as a way to kind of be able to become less attached to it, not get so dragged along and pulled along with it. So really working on not taking ourselves and life so seriously, because it's not going to be here forever. And then trailing right behind that, that's causing you to feel less satisfied with your life, is not letting yourself have good, plain fun. Again, we take life so seriously. We get so focused on all the things that we need to do and all the things we need to accomplish, and all the productivity that we need to be, and all the things we need to get ticked off our lists, that we don't actually take time to enjoy this temporary time that we have on this planet. We don't let ourselves have fun. We think that we will, have fun when we get everything done, that we will relax when we get it all accomplished. And based on my previous track record and a lot of our track records, how often is that happening? How often are we putting off the fun until we get these things done, but then we never actually get these things done, so then we never actually just let ourselves have fun, connect with the joy in life that is available to us, waiting for us. We think that play is an extra. But what if you approached your life with play as an essential? Play researcher Dr. Stuart Brown has looked into this and has been researching play and the importance of play. And what he found is that the opposite of play is not work. What we often think is that the opposite of play is work. But in fact, what he found is that the opposite of play is depression. Another thing that is contributing to you not feeling as satisfied in your life as you could is you not remembering to integrate into your life the things that you like. So often we are so busy trying to get everything done, trying to tick everything off the list, trying to stay on top of it all, that we are not actually, again, spending that time on the things that we like. This doesn't necessarily have to be pure play, but what is it that you like to do? Not always what you think you have to do, not what you're obligated to do, not what society says you should do, but what do you actually like? If you find yourself in a state or in a place in your life where you're like, there's not all that much that I like about my life. There's not that many things in my life that I like at this point in time, taking a second to sit back and ask yourself, well, what did I used to like? What did I used to like to do? What did I used to like to spend my time with and on? And are those things in your life now? We get so caught up, we get so busy trying to do that we forget to let ourselves just be, to just be with the things that we enjoy. Again, this isn't an extra. This is an essential. If you think back to those times in your life where you were doing better, when you were feeling better, what were you doing differently? And I'm going to guess that you had more integration in your life. And you weren't just always trying to do it all and stay on top of it all and complete it all, that you were also taking the time to do things that you like. If you find yourself in a place right now where you don't like your life, then I want to ask you, how much time are you investing on a regular basis doing the things that you like? Are you taking the time to remember what you like and then spending time on those things? Another thing that could be causing you to not feel as satisfied as you could be, and this is a big one, is the belief that you should be happy all the time. And I know social media doesn't help with this one as we look at other people's lives and sort of these like moments where everything is great and everything is lovely and everyone is happy, everyone is together, and we think that that's what life is like all the time for everyone except us. And we think that there's something that is wrong with us if we are not happy all the time. And I want to tell you that the goal in life is to not kind of outrun our humanness. It's not to try to like be something other than human. Because being human means that we experience all kinds of feelings. Being human means that we go through all kinds of different things. It doesn't mean that life is lovely and light and easy all the time. It doesn't mean that we are always happy and content and satisfied and stable all the time. And often what can contribute significantly to our dissatisfaction is thinking that we should always be satisfied. It's kind of ironic when you look at it, but bringing ourselves more satisfaction comes when we accept that there are going to be things in life that we are dissatisfied with. There are going to be times in our life that we are dissatisfied with. There are going to be things that we go through that we are dissatisfied about. And so kind of taking the pressure off that everything needs to be great and happy and joyful and wonderful and connected all the time, and just being like, you know what? Being human comes with all of it. It comes with the ups and downs and the backs and forths and the side to sides. It comes with all of it. Nothing has gone wrong if things aren't always going right. And another thing that's causing you to feel a lot less satisfied with your life than you could be is you not trusting yourself. You constantly second guessing yourself. You not listening to yourself. You not believing in yourself. This waffling, this wavering, this ruminating, it is causing you to not feel as satisfied with your life as you could. If you think about any relationship that you have, it's hard to feel satisfied in that relationship if you don't trust the person. And the same goes with ourselves. It's hard for us to feel satisfied with ourselves and our lives if we are not trusting ourselves. It's that foundational piece. If you're not listening to yourself, if you don't respect yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, it is really hard to feel good about yourself. And when you don't feel good about yourself, it's really hard to feel good about life. So really working on that self-trust, really working on just respecting yourself. And if trusting yourself is something that you struggle with, you're like, I don't even know how to trust myself. I was taught to not trust myself. Everything that I've learned has led me to believe that I shouldn't trust myself. Then rebuilding that self-trust, or even just building it in the first place, is what you will learn how to do in my Simple Steps to Self-Trust guide. There is a link to that in the description below. It's accessible, it is followable, it is relatable, and it's going to walk you through the simple steps to self-trust so that you can build that foundation of relationship. Every healthy relationship, every solid relationship, every secure relationship is based on trust. I'm going to teach you how to build that within yourself in the simple steps to self-trust. That guide is in the description below. Also, make sure you get on the waitlist to the Shift Society so you can do this work. Everything that you're learning here, take it to a deeper level, be supported, do it in community, get help the whole way through. Waitlist to the Shift Society is there. Always good to have you here. Would love to hear your takeaways. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, take good care.